Well, we've got some notices that are starting to firm up dates for Starship Flight 12, but there's an awful lot of work before that can happen. Let's hop into this Starbase summary and see what's going on out there at Starbase. Kicking it off over on the Massey's test site side, peeking through the bushes with plants in the way, sort of there. Gage getting us a little shot. Here we've got a booster LOX landing tank being installed in the nose cone jail. That's a sentence that I just said out loud on a YouTube video. There, you can see it in the foreground. The smaller white tank, there's a white structure there just to the left of the crane with the skinny tank in it. Yeah, we're going to punch in. Nice. Thank you, Caesar. We're going to punch in and have a look at what's going on here. Now, are they experiencing or expecting some forces there on that inner tank that they are worried about? Do they need to push it and pull it and bend it and see how it's going to do during different phases of flight? Well, that's why you put it in there. We'll see how they poke and prod at that thing to make sure it's going to do what they want when it's flying in an actual Starship. A couple things going on here. I guess the ship QD arm up there is moving while a tank is being removed from the arm. Here we got a second tank being removed there. I should just read the label because that would have explained to me what it was we were showing there, but the QD arm moving caught my eye. Looks like they're moving some things around. Yep, there you go. Getting it out, rolling it to the port. Is this going to pop up somewhere else? Well, we'll be watching because we've got cameras all over the map seeing where these things go. But rolling out. Oh, we're going to hook it up. Oh, is this a... Look at this. This isn't like SPMT's proper all the way to the port. This is that longer distance towing thing. I bet you that truck says bail on the side of it. But this is the longer distance sort of thing. It's like a hybrid SPMT towable setup for those longer distances. Hey, I got two of them in a row. Been hazy, drippy, and wet out there. So a lot of these camera shots are have some challenges with look at all that fog, humidity in the air. Got some little aperture effects there for style. Going to drive past those solar panels there. That camera platform next to them. All right, so Pad 2, we've got some, it's labeled Ship Infrastructure Testing. Sounds cool. Looks like it's... I was going to make a joke about us selecting a pope, but we've already done that, and that's not the pope vent. We've seen an awful lot of venting happening at all these different places. They're pressurizing lines. They're blowing them out. They're making sure that everything's holding the way that they expect it to hold for flight. We know that there were some issues with that pad whenever they did that static fire test, so they are running all this stuff out. It's almost like to the point where... Well, I don't know. We've got the version 3 boosters and ships, and we've got the new pad design. It's a lot of new stuff being tested here in Flight 12. So shaking it all out to make sure it does what you need makes a lot of good sense. There's Orbital Pad 2. At least we hope it'll be orbital one day. I'm sure it will be. I don't think SpaceX is going anywhere until they get it sorted out. Caesar with the wildlife shot there and the reflecting pool in the foreground. It's technically reflecting some stuff today. It's more of a refraction pool today with all the waves on top. Yeah, nice. Thank you, Caesar. What are those egrets of some sort? They're like waiting around. This is the time. You know, I have a bird identification guide. Like for the Rio Grande Valley. Like there's a nature center over there, and I took pictures of all the bird identification posters they had. Anyways, I don't have it handy. Booster clamps open and closed. Those are going to be sticking up just above the top of the pad. There they go. Those cars in the foreground make life difficult. And then we get a full-speed Pad 2 Retract Test. We should see both of those. Yep, look at that. We saw the QDs not disconnect anything, but act like they had disconnected, and then went into their little homes. And we've got the arm up there as well. Look at that all together now. The ship retract. Look at the doors swing closed. The bottom, the booster QDs for the LOX and the methane. Like everything's sort of working in unison with this composite clip. And that's, of course, to make sure that all... Oh, there's a drone flying there, too. If you scroll back, you could see a drone flying just above the pad in the lower shot. So getting all those things to work together, clearly important for flight. You want that stuff to get the heck out of the way. When that rocket is taking off, you want to try and protect these plates that connect to the rocket. There's the retract to get it out of the way. Then it had those little barn door sort of things. I guess barn doors slide. Those are more like swinging doors. Oh, here, look at this. I feel like it should make noises. It probably doesn't make that noise. I bet you up there it does make that noise. Here, I'll make the noise. Hang on. It's going to go. It's venting. I felt like it needed like a noise as it rested in the cradle there at the end. That was my attempt. If you have a better attempt, well, you can make a YouTube channel and talk over videos. It's fine. There we've got both the pads. Another topic here is going to be a lot of work happening over in the Pad 1 area. Note Pad 2 in the background there in the distance, but all the preparations that have been happening over here at Pad 1, still see some sheet piles going in, or standing up there above the edge where you couldn't quite see the actual work they're doing, but doing some digging. We've seen them taking equipment out there. There you see a big driller. Yep, we'll zoom in on that a little bit. And I don't know if Gage took this because there was a grackle hopping around there, or if Gage was actually looking at the big auger. My guess with Gage would be the grackle, but I appreciate that there was an auger in the background as well. Here we're moving around some of that gantry, like the actual slanted parts that make up the pad over at Pad 2. Of course, we're going to want those over at Pad 1 as well, using that new design. You know, I have a feeling that the general structure of the pad is good to go. It's in our separation unit, by the way. You've seen it before. I have a feeling that the general pad shape and structure are not going to need to change much, right? They have angles. They deflect exhaust and directions. I think it's like the devil in the details there, where you have all the pumps and pressures and the deluge system and all of those different things. That's what really needs to get sorted out. If they're making fixes, I don't expect that we're going to see like, oh, we've completely redesigned the geometry of the way we're making those pads. So even though Pad 2 hasn't completely, what's the right way to say this? I was going to say been successful yet, but what I really meant is proved to be successful, like it's actually had a flight happen from it. And are they going to find anything from that flight when Flight 12 goes that they're going to maybe change on Pad 1 when they're working on that design? I doubt it's the big mega structure, the basic bones of everything, right? It's probably all the little detailed bits and pressures and pumps and pipes and that sort of stuff that's going to need to be dialed in versus, oh gosh, we really got to dig that trench differently, or we need 3 trenches instead of 2 trenches or whatever. We have Starhopper, we have a yield sign, and we have a laughing gull over there. I don't know if any of y'all have been to Starbase or you've heard the very distinct call of those laughing gulls. It literally sounds like they're laughing. That's what we call them. I don't know if that's the official name of them, but I grew up down there, and we called them laughing gulls. I am not going to make a laughing... There are not enough comments on these videos for me to make a laughing gull noise on the video or even attempt it. Looking in at the Gigabay here. Sorry, I'm not doing it. No, y'all, no. Getting some shots of the Gigabay. Looks like we've got some wind shielding installed here. Still moving some. That looks like we're aligning something. We got the Mark 1 aligning rod. You don't want to stick your finger in there. You want to stick the Mark 1 aligning rod in and then lever that into position. Give me a Mark 1 aligning rod, and I place the stand, and I can move, well, that beam on the Gigabay. It's not much, but it's honest work. Caesar's going to roll in at night and get us some nighttime shots. That is a vibe right there. Look at that, all the internal lights. Still sort of construction lighting there, but that looks cool. That looks like, I say the future, that looks like an oil refiner is what it looks like to me. Peeking through the transfer aisle here, ship 40 back in the Megabay. We talked about how fresh and clean those tiles were on that thing last time. There's a barrel section in the ring yard. It's the shiny thing to the left of the lift there. You know, that's exciting. I'll be honest, I don't get too excited about barrel segments and stuff like that. I mean, they're pumping out so many of these things. I personally, 100% honestly, don't sit here and I'm like, oh my gosh, look at that, it's a barrel segment. Oh God, jot it down. I appreciate there are people that do it, but this is more interesting, a work stand. I wonder if this is the one that we saw being worked on over there in the assembly yard, and now it's scooting into the Starfactory to begin its life as a piece of metal that holds other pieces of metals in certain positions. So what's going on there? Booster 17 aft section in the background there, and we've got the roiling fluid of atmosphere there in the background, and then an entire fleet of Cybertrucks in the foreground. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Man, that looks so nice. Caesar does such a good job with the night lighting on all this stuff. You can actually see 2 things. You see the outer walls there and some chines, and the inner tank structure sort of not cut in half, but you could see inside of the thing there. And here we've got a rollout. Ship 40 turning the corner, coming along Old Remedios Road. Can I call it Old Remedios Road? I can call it Old Remedios Road. Alongside the mural here, you have all of the pipes and tubing and disconnect areas here. Man, it looks like a mess, but I'm sure that there's a method to that madness. We've got some chains chaining the flaps into position there as well. A couple sets of tiles. These tiles look like they're on the leeward side. Are they really? Are these like test tiles probably? Got a little bit of paint up there at the top. And some venting and all sorts of stuff. Sorry, not venting, but vents is what I meant to say. So these are just camped out here on the other side of Highway 4 getting these shots for us as this rolled towards him on the roll. And this was one of them late night things as well. So big thanks to Caesar for burning the midnight oil out there, getting these shots for us. You know, these sorts of things are still very cool to look at. I imagine there will be a day where it's like, oh gosh, another Starship, really? It's like, I got places to be, get this thing out of the way. But we are not there yet, not in my opinion at least. It is still really cool to see these things rolling out. And I will remind you that at no other time have we been in a position where from a public roadway we can get this sort of visibility on a program like this. I mean, hey, there haven't been a lot of programs like this. I don't know if anybody remembers the old assembly plant in Palmdale where you got like one updated webcam shot a day. Yeah. Welcome to the future because we're living in it, it looks like. In any event, here we see the windward. So I guess this is the bottom side as it dives of the ship on its way out to Massey. It's going to do some proof testing out there. Is those test tiles? I wonder what I'm seeing there. I see the underlayment, then sort of an open cut area, and that seemed to be on the right-hand side from this perspective. Still looks like a historical bathroom in a courthouse on occasion. Oh, that's cool. That's a cool effect with little red and blue lights flashing fast enough to give you a purple effect with your persistence of vision there. In any event, there you can see the crab stand, the static fire stand. Stack that thing up on it and roll it all the way out there so they can plug it all in and get it tested out. But it was a dark and dreary night when this thing went, so big thanks for the team. Look at it, it's literally going to be fading into the fog there. Big thanks to the team for rolling out and getting that. Folks, it's a Starbase summary. You know the deal. You want to keep up with what's going on. It's Starbase like that middle of May date that's coming up. Well, you can watch this video, but the real video you want to watch are the Starbase summaries or Starship summaries that come out on Mondays. We appreciate you watching. I'm John, and we will see you nerds later.